Just try to imagine this. You're a parent with a terribly sick child, and the hospital says there's nothing more that it can do for your baby. It's time to let the child die. But you're not ready to give up. Who gets to choose? Now to our Out in the Open panel tonight, Air America radio host Rachel Maddow, Newsmax.com columnist and radio host Steve Malzberg, and Keith Boykin, host of BET's My 2 Cents. Correct me if I'm wrong. When now President Bush was governor of Texas, this bill was passed that allowed hospitals to override parents' decisions about keeping someone terminally ill, potentially terminally ill, alive. Right. Didn't he go the opposite way with the Terri Schiavo case?
I think he did. I think this is a clear case of hypocrisy. On the one hand, in Texas, we want to let the hospitals decide, but then in the case of Terri Schiavo, I think we said we want to let people outside of the system decide. We want to let the government make decisions. These are family decisions. Families should make these decisions. This to me is Terri Schiavo meets Elian Gonzalez. The government doesn't need to be involved in telling everybody how to run their own lives and how to take care of children. And we really need to be concerned about all children, not just some children.
Well, this is a panel of medical ethicists, and you heard one of the doctors saying that he believes that this ventilator creates pain. It's cruel and unusual punishment to a child. Do you buy that?
Yeah.
Or do you still think the mother should have the right to allow this child to live?
Both. I have tremendous sympathy with the doctors in this case because of the Hippocratic Oath. They feel like they are doing harm to this child by prolonging this treatment. I think the mother is wrong, honestly, to want to prolong the treatment, but the fact remains that she does, and as a matter of public policy, it ought to be her choice. I don't want hospitals able to make this decision over and above patients and their families. I don't.
Would we be having the discussion tonight if this mother was rich? And if she had the resources to take this child to another hospital, maybe where she wasn't on Medicare and, you know, could pay for the next 5 years?
Probably not. Probably the hospital administrative staff that has come to the decision that they're causing pain to the child, probably it's a pain in their pocketbook.
They've denied that.
Well, I know, yeah, but I'm just saying, because this kid is on so much morphine, according to the mother, that he's probably not feeling the pain. He's squeezing the mother's finger. He's reacting to the mother. I mean, for the hospital to say he has 2 months to live, but we're going to pull the plug now and kill him is outrageous.
The doctors are saying by putting this ventilator down his throat and by pounding on his chest every day to clear fluid out of his chest, we're hurting this kid.
Better kill him, right? Better kill him? That's your answer?
Yes. I actually agree with you, Steve. I think that in this case we really want to give the mother the decision power here. I don't think you want to let the hospital decide that this is not right.
I don't want to let the hospital decide, but I think the doctors are probably right, and I wish the mother felt differently about this. I think that she's essentially torturing her. But it's her call to make.
Yeah, you think it's her call to make, but are you going to completely disregard what these doctors are saying? Art Kaplan, who's this medical ethicist supreme, I think a lot of people trust his judgment, said this is a very thoughtful panel of doctors that waded through tons and tons of information to arrive at this decision.
It's a tough decision. It's not easy. But if we really talk about a culture of life, which a lot of people say that they believe in, then we should be promoting everyone's right to life, not just to certain people. You know, I think the
ethicists in the Terri Schiavo case, almost to a person, were against letting Terri Schiavo go on and survive. They call themselves ethicists, but their interest isn't necessarily right to life. It's usually the opposite. And this is a culture of death. These are the same people who were outraged about the abortion decision that the Supreme Court made last week, and they don't understand that you have to protect. You have to protect. Yes, I am. We have a culture of death in this country.
I think you've got that exactly backwards. What's happening here is that people who say that they believe in life only care about life in the fetus, but they don't care about life afterwards.
Not at all.
I think the religious right has a responsibility to go more than just what goes on inside a woman's body.
The religious right isn't favoring the hospital here. Where do you get that assumption from?
I think we all have a responsibility to let the families make these decisions. But
and the religious right would be on that side.
Well, it's not always the case, though. I think what's happening here is that there's inconsistency with George Bush's position.
He made a mistake. That's a terrible law in Texas. Absolutely.
If you were this child's mother, what would you be doing tonight?
If I was this child's mother, I would be unbelievably sad and in the worst place I can possibly imagine. I think that the kid has a right to die in dignity and in comfort, and they ought to make that happen. But only the mother can decide.
Rachel Maddow, Steve Malzberg, Keith Boykin, thank you all.